How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of West Coast from Florida. In this piece, courtesy of my boy Carson. Now it would be Intuitiuon Ales. It's the I-10 West Coast IPA. This be canned April 3rd. We're almost into June now. It's a West Coast beer. We should be all right. And yeah, this comes in at 6.7% alcohol by volume. And this would be my second beer, I believe, by Intuitiuon. First one, actually, technically my third one, but second different beer from Intuitiuon. The first one was their Easy, what was it called? Easy on the Eyes, or I forget what it was called. But Carson sent me that one, and it was oxidized to the nines, to the point where I actually resent the beer and I re-reviewed it. I'll probably post it at the same time I did this one, because I thought it was only fair to re-review the beer because how oxidized the other one was. And spoiler alert, if you didn't watch that one first, much better version this time around. Anyway, you can barely see that, man. I got a little fucking stilts for this thing. Yeah, looks like West Coast IPA. Almost 2 index fingers. The khaki colored head, pillowy top to it, decently uniform, kind of bubbles around the edge. That kind of rich kind of caramel, washed out yellow, orange caramel kind of glow to it. And label wise, it looks old school. I mean, that's an old school label right there. That's like the cans you used to see from breweries they used to open up in the late 90s, early 2000s. That'd be an old school can. So, not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, like I said, she looks like a Westie. Let's see what she actually has in the nose. I mean, I am getting a little bit of oxidation in this one. Also, there's a pine portion of the show. There's a little bit of resiny action. There's a deep caramel to it that I think is not supposed to be there. I think it's a product of having a rich kind of malt backbone, but actually at the same time, kind of that oxidation to bring up a little bit more of those caramel vibes. Yeah, done. Not overly bittering on the nose, but you can get that that's in there. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah. I think this has a little bit going on what the previous beer did, but not nearly as apparent. I was going to say not nearly as, not nearly at that level, but it might be at the same level of kind of oxidation as that Easy on the Eyes or that small little session beer, but you're talking about 6.7% West Coast IPA. Those flavors are going to hold up and be a little bit beefier, a little bit more sturdy up against those kind of things, as opposed to a tiny little kind of session pale ale. So you're definitely getting like a piney kind of bittering off of it. You're definitely getting those caramel vibes. We are getting that soft little wet paper, and that caramel kind of comes off like a little bit of an aged beer, kind of like a barley wine, English old ale kind of oxidation thing, to where the caramel is being richer and kind of creamier. And in combination with that wet core board, you're kind of getting that kind of little bit of oxidation. All in all, it's not necessarily a bad beer. It's just not necessarily in good health, if you will. And fine, tasty, drinkable. Nothing to write home about, but at the same time, if I'm going to sit here and talk about some of my favorite West Coast IPAs, probably not going to be in the list. We'll get to that in a second. So yeah, pretty much it. Nice, soft, creamy mouthfeel, so that's not too bad. A little bit different than what you'd expect from West Coast IPA, but definitely not that bad. It definitely is a West Coast IPA. There's no qualms about that. It's definitely, without a doubt, a West Coast IPA. It just has a little bit of herky-jerkiness going on that keeps it from being something that's super tasty. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better ones I've had? Not really. It is what it is. Not necessarily a bad beer, I don't think. In general, just not really doing it for me. Something I would like, again, at the brewery when it's fresh to see how it really pops. Value and availability, no idea. Carson, let us know what's what and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like Westies, you don't mind a little bit of oldness on them. Old school West Coast IPAs, not necessarily a bad thing. Some people dig them because that's what they've been trained to like. So if you like that, you like this. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing this social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little, Westie right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.